Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 18 of season 4 of Once Upon a Game, the story game role playing show. Hi, I'm Eric, your host and facilitator for tonight's game. And tonight's game is, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, The King is Dead, the amazing Game of Thrones meets Mario Party role playing game by D. Vincent Baker and Mega Baker. So awesome. Thank you, Lumply Games, for another great game to play. This is one of my all time favorite games. I'm super excited to share it with you guys and super excited to play it with this group of friends that I have assembled tonight. And let's go around and introduce everybody. I have just go down the order that I have here on screen. So, Errol, you're first, my friend. Welcome.
Hi. Name's Eric, but I go by Earl. So if anybody knows me out there, it's Earl. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I've never played this game. I haven't played Firebrands either, so this is completely new. So should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I mostly play the Sprawl these days, so that's my main jam. Yeah, that's me.
Cool. Thank you. Umbra.
Hi. Yeah, very glad to be here. Second week in a row. I'm going to play one of my favorite games with y'all. But yeah, I'm Umbra on things. I've been playing a fair bit of Firebrands over the past few weeks. It's been a pleasure. It's been a really good time. So I'm looking forward to try this game again. I only played this game once, and that was with one other person. We played 2 factions each, so I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out with like a full group. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's me. It's exciting to be here.
Yeah. Cool. Vorian, you're next. Hi.
All right. Hi. I'm just here because I remember what fun times I had playing the skeletons with you guys more than a year ago. I'm just a guy that likes games.
Was it really a year?
I think it was a year ago. More than a year ago. Maybe year ago. Yeah.
How time flies.
Yeah, and then I got like really busy with school. Yeah, I'm 25 years old. I'm still in university. Maybe gonna graduate soon, but finding jobs always a drag, isn't it?
Yeah. So. Yeah. Right. That pretty much sums it up, right? And last but certainly not least, Adam, Dark Lavender Void. Welcome back.
Hi, I'm Dark Lavender Void, and I make weird games like Mortally Bankrupt, which is it's like a Blades hack, Firebrands hack. It just keeps getting weirder the more I design it. And you can play it on Twitch or on a Discord with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And you're you're people on a reality show that's being watched by eldritch horrors.
Yeah, I mean, that's what
I've been designing that for the past year and a half. It's really fucking good.
Yeah, that's... I mean, when you describe something like that, it's got to be good, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So, and I'm Eric, and I think we all spoke about it beforehand, but we talked about our preferred pronouns and stuff like that, and how to go by, and I think we're all he, him, or at least it doesn't matter as much for us today. But yeah, with that all stuff out of the way, we're playing a fun little story game, but like all story games, they're frameworks for a story less than a physical game that we can just kind of do aimlessly. We, as the players, are going to be giving life to these little inanimate objects. That is the skeletons of these stories, and we're going to, we're going to have a little bit of fun with them and inject ourselves and our creativity in this. We're going to listen to each other. We're going to reiterate different and reincorporate elements of what other people have said and what you've said back into the game. But of course, there's a chance for things to go horribly wrong, just like any good story or anything about human nature, right? And just so it's clear, we are people playing a game first and foremost, more than your character. We are the people at a game table, and so our safety and our fun matters more than whatever's going on. And so, worst case scenario, we have the fire extinguisher, we have the escape pod ready to go. It's the X card, but there's plenty of things to do before that, like, hey, can we like fade to black on that scene, or hey, can we like not do a lot with this one thing? It's a kind of, I'm not really a big, and instead of like having to defend somebody doing that, right, just trust them that if they brought it up to get rid of it, it's probably for a good reason, and we're smart people, and I believe in us that we can be able to steer the ship around whatever problems come around. Obviously, I don't think it's really happened ever, but I've been saying it for God, hundreds and hundreds of episodes, like since the first episode, and it's here, and it's always important to reiterate. Okay, so
It's always important to
Yes.
lay the groundwork for the rules.
yeah, cool. And now the actual form. These are. I consider those rules as rules that trump all other rules in a game, right? That's our table stance.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here? We're playing a game called The King is Dead, and by this, you could kind of imagine by the name of the story, The King is Dead. There's a king who's dead, and it's true. So let me give you the quick little spoiler text about what's going on. Like if this was Star Wars, this is the opening sprawl, right? Or this is like during the Game of Thrones intro, like the King of Bantiv, Eivor III, High Prince of House Stillstone and Sovereign of the Seaward Coast, has died without an heir. Civil war is certain. You're a young warrior prince or warrior princess of one of the noble houses of Bantiv. You're caught up in this looming war of secession, but you're not one of the ones who will be crowned. I'll repeat that. You are not one of the ones who will be crowned. Your more exalted cousins, upon for who you fight, and strive for them, maybe even will die for them, earn that coronation. But ultimately, too, that's not the object of the game. The object of this game is to make a mess. So, we got our 5 people. The person who's eldest at the table is going to go first, but we're all going to make characters here. Okay? So we're all going to make warriors and stuff like that. I have everything we need to do out here, sprayed out on Roll20. We have all of the houses. Like I said, this is like Game of Thrones. Obviously, there's a couple like one-to-one correlations, but sometimes they're a little bit of a hodgepodgey thing. And if you ever played Game of Thrones, that's totally cool too. Or know about Game of Thrones, that's completely fine. That's not a requirement of the game. And so what's going to happen is we're going to start by doing these things when we want to pick our characters. Is somebody's mic doing something weird?
I don't know.
blowing?
I
Like
just
you're
had
blowing?
a weird. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're gonna each, since with 5 players, it's probably best if we all picked a different house from one another here to try it out. And there's a description of what the 5 houses are here. And then we're gonna come up with a name. We're going to pick what house we're from, and then pick some attractive qualities. And then list the attractive qualities at below. You should pick about 3. And once you have that, that's about all we need to do for character creation. And then the first thing that's going to happen is that the eldest player is going to play a game called Intrigue, and they're going to kind of give us what's going on from that. And from then on, we kind of just play as this sort of Mario Party. If you haven't gone yet, you get a chance to go. The order is not as important as if you've already gone, you don't get to go again. Okay? Normally you can play this game like clockwise, like go around the table or whatever. Like that's fine too. Like that's a good default. But sometimes you really want to follow up a scene with another scene immediately. And so I've switched to the idea that if you've already contributed, you don't get to contribute to everyone else has. Basically like the mouse guard conflict system is kind of like how I err on that stuff these days. But
What a shocker.
yeah, what a shocker, right? Coming from me. So, with that being said, hopefully I'm here to answer any questions, but I'm going to start looking over this list myself and figure out which house I want to be. And hopefully you guys do the same.
I would like to be House Lunest.
Damn it.
Okay. There's one more thing I want you guys to do for me. So I have 5 tokens up here. Obviously some of them have symbols, but that's only because I panicked and couldn't find my non-symbol tokens to use today. But these are going to be the tokens, and you're going to pick a color and token to represent you as we are choosing different things. Okay, so Adam, let's start with you. Right, you're choosing House Lunest. Which of these 5 colors do you want to be?
Purple.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool.
Logical.
Any of these houses screaming at someone else to do? I think, obviously, since I played this game...
And the skull. Are there actually 2 black tokens?
No, there's actually a navy one. But there's a navy and there's a skull. It's purple, navy, skull, red, and teal. I obviously went to one side of the color spectrum today. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm
I
kind
think
of
I need a
digging
monitor.
House Empire for myself.
Okay.
The Vantage. I think I'm going to pick the orange a little fiery one.
Yep. I'm gonna go with actually no, I'm gonna hold off. Errol.
I'll go with House Oak.
Okay. And want to be teal or navy?
Give me teal.
Cool. And I am Dillstone.
Hmm.
I'll be navy. Cool. All right, now let's start coming up with some character names and stuff like that, and I'll write them up here on the board. So once again, a character name and 3 descriptions, 3 qualities. This is very similar if you ever played Firebrands. It's kind of the same setup, but also I don't think there's an order. If the first person who has the right, has what they want to do, go ahead and just spring forward.
Just trying to think of a good name.
Yeah. Isn't the naming rule the same as in Firebrands, where if you really don't have a good idea, you can pick your own name?
Yeah, and then just iterate on it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a thing that it mentions.
Yeah, I thought I remembered reading that.
So what are we naming right now?
Our character. We're our warrior prince or our warrior princess that we're playing.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And they are going to be the warrior prince or warrior princess of the house you just chose. And so we come up with a name and 3 qualities you want them to have. These qualities are purely descriptive. They don't actually have an effect. Sometimes, though, you might see these qualities brought up in certain games where someone who's like the better dancer goes first or the better swordsperson goes first. And so if you have a quality that, fictionally positions you in a certain way, then so be it. But otherwise, it's kind of just there for us to look at and refer to.
Well, I can go. I think
Okay.
my warrior prince will be Callum. Callem.
Okay.
And Callum Oak. And then, educated, patient, and brooding.
Okay, I think I'll be playing Princess Judith of House Antire. And she is... I think she is accomplished at arms, musical, maybe because I watched all of Galavan today, and good-hearted.
Did you say accomplished dancer?
Accomplished at arms.
Oh.
Yeah, accomplished at arms, good-hearted, and musical.
What was... Oh, say, I got musical, accomplished at arms, and what was the last one?
Good-hearted.
Good-hearted. Thank you. And what was your first name?
Judith.
Judith?
J.
Oh,
Yeah.
J. Okay. But with a soft J. Gotcha.
I have
We'll
an
go
idea.
next. Wait, did somebody else say anything?
I said a thing. I have an idea for mine if you don't want to go first. Okay. I am Dasha. With an E at the end. I'm going with 2 complementary attractive qualities. I'm brooding and cheerful. And I'm also graceful.
Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna be Bragan Dillstone, and my 3 qualities I'm going to choose are accomplished at arms. I'm going with a real straight shooter here. Accomplished at arms, courteous, and good-hearted.
The champion for House Sandorial will be... Oh god, I'm blanking on the name. Brain, what the fuck? Goraline Sandorial. So Gorelane.
Yeah, one more
So
time.
good.
Golf. What? What?
You
No,
spelled that?
can you spell it one more time? I'm sorry. I was finishing up typing good-hearted, and then my brain was
Oh,
about
okay.
3 seconds behind your words, and so you just repeat it.
Gorelane.
G-
Lima. Gore. Golf Oscar Romeo Echo. Lima Alpha November Echo.
Yeah, Gorlane.
He is accomplished at arms, brooding, and patient.
I'm very glad that I didn't go for brooding as well, because we would have all been brooding. Been the most depressing game of King is Dead ever. I'm gonna have a Jon Snow off.
Okay,
Don't
cool.
worry, I'm brooding and graceful.
And Tyr,
And
your
cheerful.
muster starts at 5. Lunest, yours starts at 3. Oak, you start with 6, and Dillstone starts with 7.
The distance starts with 5. Sandorial has 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dillstone starts at 5. Oak starts at 6, and Sandorial starts at 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So that top right part is correct. This way we can just look at that while we play. Okay, cool. Awesome. So now the oldest player gets to go first. And that's actually going to be, I think, Earl, right? So here's what's going to happen.
You're muted.
Yeah, I got it. Yep.
So here's what's going to happen. If you look at the handouts, there's one that says intrigue. And I want you to look at that handout real quick.
Is it Intrigue 1 or?
Yeah, it start with Intrigue 1, but then you might have to go to 2 and 3. The way
okay.
Intrigue is, I wanted to start with Intrigue 1 because it gives you the rules of the game. So so it literally tells you out how to do everything here, because the way this game works is that it's just a series of mini games. This whole game is just going to be a series of mini games by taking turns. Each time you take a turn, someone steps forward to play a mini game. You get to work with maybe somebody or maybe everyone about what the context of that game is. And then just kind of let it happen until the scene resolves. Different games have different rules for how they end, and then we end the scene, and someone else takes their turn. So in Intrigue and Muster, when we set up, we're going to choose an event, and we're going to read it out loud. You cannot choose from your own house's list, right? So you are, one more time, you are House Oak, so you cannot choose from the House Oak's list. Now I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Okay, let's do this. So the goal and what's happening in this game is that houses have different positions of power, right? The closer you get to 8 on this muster track is representative of the strength of your armies and your forces and your claim and your ability to actually get the throne. Okay? So what's going to happen is that you're going to be choosing from one of these multiple lists of different things that are happening to different houses, and it's going to influence the muster for different houses, as well as sort of give us the context of like what this season of our game will be about, right? So for example, House Antir musters support from all the untamed tribes. The House Antir gains 1 muster, which means that their muster goes up 1 in rank, and they're getting more powerful. And then maybe the next scene could be like a conversation over food, being like, yo, those barbarians are getting really strong. How about we get an alliance? Or, you know what I mean? Listen, you know, and like this, basically it sets a good like conflict to orbit around. And at any point, if we want more, someone else can do an intrigue turn and also, you know, add something to the pot. But basically this is like our stock that we're cooking with for the first part. Okay? So
this is like a big defining event.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a big defining event. It's one of the weird problems with this game is that you have to choose from a list that's not your house, which means you have to choose from like 40 different things, which is kind of daunting. But my advice to you is just pick the thing that sounds the coolest, right? Just skim through the stuff. Don't really worry about what the muster ranks do. Just pick the one that's coolest, and don't pick the one from your house. Okay? You're muted again.
I'm just looking over the list as you're talking.
Yeah, good. Thank you. I enjoy when players are able to multitask like that. I appreciate it.
No.
Were you able to find one you liked?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's start with an assassination. So I'm gonna pick one that has assassinate in it that jumped out at me. So House Sanderail assassinates a powerful general of House Oak in her own home. Oh no, not that one. Yeah, I guess that one. I lose one muster.
Yes. Okay.
Let's do that.
So when
Complete
cool.
Yep.
So when you lose a muster, you come
Yep.
down to here. We're at the same rank, so that pushes me up, and then you go down, and that's what happens.
Yep.
Right. So I didn't really gain one so much as you lost one, but yeah. So House Sandorial put out a hit on House Oak.
Yep.
And killed one of your generals.
Asshole.
And so that's where the story will begin. So, it's up to everyone else here now to pick games, what we want to do. I caution you guys about picking one of the fighting things early on, because there's a couple games here where death is absolutely on the line and stakes are really high. Oftentimes these games will often make you have to pick between horrible choices. And so it's usually better to start with either disagreements, conversations over food, or dances is kind of how I like to begin. But or chase. Chase scenes are also really good to begin. So since I'm facilitating this game, I'm really trying to not steal the spotlight and try to step up and going first. I want someone else to try to give it a whirl, but I understand that I'm also giving you guys a lot of space that might be intimidating. And so if you're not comfortable with that and you want an example of another game, let me know, because I'll be happy to step forward and do that too, right? I just want to give you guys first. Okay, what's up?
Do we all play Intrigue and Muster or just Earl?
Just Earl. That's the big difference between Firebrands and this game, where I messed up the first time I played this game.
I see.
Yeah, because the Intrigue is a big deal.
It seems like a parallel to Solitaire.
It is. Now, the next person who goes could totally play Intrigue. That's totally a possibility. But
Oh.
I don't know. I'm in a really strong position.
You are House Andorial, assassinating people.
I have the biggest military of the land. What say you, fellow lords?
Well, if no one wants to go, I'm going to go.
I want to die. I really just want my character to die right away so that I can make another character.
Okay.
Okay.
I could go first and pick meeting sword to sword or the equivalent in this game.
Yes, you can.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, who are you fighting?
Okay, I want to.
So we're meeting sword to sword. You're going at them, and you're going to pick meeting sword to sword. And so you're going to set up to choose one other player to be your enemy in combat, and we're going to decide how we came together, standing alone, sword to sword. So who's that other person?
I think I want to duel with Gorlane Sandoriel.
Okay. So, how did you two come together to be dueling?
I feel like you would approach me though, right? Wait, who are you playing again? Shit.
I'm
The-
playing.
Ness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The royals of House Fresha from across the sea.
Yep. God, hard question.
I mean,
Probably something to do with
you're like
assassin.
What particular beef do we have with each other?
What?
Linest is sort of like the overseas naval power, and if Sandorial are an army power, I could see this being like a boarding fight. Even this could be on the ship as Gorlin is heading somewhere.
Yeah.
So like swashbuckling.
Totally.
Okay, so there it is. So it's a ship to ship combat. So Sandorial and Lunest are navies are engaged, and obviously there's some sort of like boarding action going on, and so now that's where we begin. So looking over the rules for the game, I believe there's a question you have to ask, you guys.
Yep. Gorlane, how do you look to me? And I'm not looking at the rules right now, but what have I heard about you?
What's your mood? Is the question.
Thank you.
How do... Wait.
Yeah. What does Gorlane
I'm trying to
look
figure
like?
out the parsing of the question. I'm kind of blanking. How do I look to you? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I kind of look angry, but not extremely angry that you decided to raid my ships in a rampant act of piracy. But if you may provide a good reason for that, I may spare you.
And you asked me the same question.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Adam, can you raise your mic a little bit?
Sure. As soon as I figure out how to do that. Video settings. Video settings. Let me see. How's that?
It sounds exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, awfully quiet.
How's that?
You were like okay during the soundtrack, but like now it's...
Yeah,
I
you're
changed microphones is the thing, because the other one was making that windy noise that people were complaining about, because it's very sensitive to being bumped.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if that's the best you got, then that's the best you got.
Good God.
okay. Yeah.
You might just have to talk a little louder.
How's this? I turned it all the way up.
Oh, yeah, that will work.
Okay, great. Okay, so meeting sword to sword. I'm like super hyped about bloodshed right now because I'm being boarded, and I am not going to show so much as sadness in the face of Sandorial's armies.
Well, you're the naval power. You boarded me.
I thought I like got sort of close, and then you boarded me because I was thinking you'd be on my ship.
Sure.
Let's just... Okay.
Okie dokie.
So I'm on your ship.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And the player whose house has the lower muster begins combat by asking a leading question. Which I imagine has to be me because I started off at 3.
Yeah, you're literally at 3. Yeah,
exactly.
And you're fighting the house with the highest muster.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Adam, can you lower your volume like 10%?
Sure.
Sorry.
You're peaking a bit.
Yeah, you're peaking.
How's that?
Yeah, that's
It's
good.
like 75% as opposed to 100. Okay, great.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, so I get to ask a leading question.
Mm-hmm.
We circle, guards up, swords between us. What do you say?
What do I say?
Mm-hmm.
Do you seriously want to? Or is this the time? Just that.
That makes total sense. So that was my leading question. So now you get that.
Okay, yeah. I pretend to falter and lower my guard. Do I draw you out, or recognize the ploy and hold steady? Or do you recognize the ploy and hold steady?
I continue to look you in the eye and I say, Oh, we've got that trick too. I've fallen for that one before.
So you recognize the ploy and hold steady.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I throw a wide swing, wild but powerful. Do you duck quickly back or do you stand unrattled?
I duck quickly back, but thrust my sword in front as a way to block the sword, and immediately thrust the sword forward, so the blade almost catches on the grip on the guard, where that place is, but it just stops like 2 millimeters short of actually catching on the guard.
Your question.
Cool.
This leads straight into the next question. I overreach and you have the opportunity for a dirty little blow. A kick to the knee or an elbow to the ear. Do you take it? Because I'm in your face right now.
Mm-hmm. I kind of hit your knee on the side with my boot and like kind of trip you a little bit.
Inside of the knee or like outside?
Outside, I'm thinking.
Okay.
It
So,
maybe
like-
doesn't
like-
break, but twists really badly.
Okay. Okay.
Because it's not like a little kick, it's like a stomp because I'm aiming to like you weren't there, just like to stomp like the deck of the ship down. So it hits pretty hard.
So that means this means I fall, but I managed to keep my sword up in a blocking position where your sword is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is after any point now, the closing questions come into play.
Cool. And I believe it's my turn to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I feel like there should be a really good closing question for this sort of situation. I get my sword's edge across your throat. Do you submit or flee?
Ooh.
And I say, this is why you stay on land, Sandoriel.
There's no option. The question doesn't give me an option to like be an asshole.
No. Do you submit or do you flee?
Yeah.
It's a closing question. It's decisive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't want to die though.
Yeah. So what do you do?
So I keep my sword over. Basically, my sword is like across my shoulder at this point. So your sword is like here, and I basically do not have the leverage to like push your sword away.
Yeah.
And I have to submit. But you forget this is hard ground. And when it comes to ground, I always hold the cards. So that's it.
And you retreat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. That's our meeting sword to sword. Now someone else gets to go.
Okay.
I have an idea, but Umber, do you want to go?
Yeah, let's see. I have an idea. That's it. I want to do a dance.
Okay. This is what kind of dance for everybody?
I think this. Let's pick one, and anyone else can join in if they think it makes sense.
Sure. I guess then
But
what is the context for the dance?
I think this is like probably like a celebration in a town that belongs to like one of the noble houses, but it's sort of like on the edge of the wild.
Which noble house?
See, I kind of want to have a chat with. So let's do House Oak. I want to have a
Okay.
meeting with Callan.
Sure. So House Oak is having a party.
Yeah, well, like there's a party in a town in the borders, like on the borders between House Oak territory and the Wilderland, where the entire tribes live, with the entire families.
Okay.
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 What's this game?
So the way I picture the entire or the antir here is I'm drawing a lot of inspiration from like colonial America, like Dogs in the Vineyard, more so than like tribesmen. These are like mostly like pastoral folk that have just been like left alone, more so than like these savages that need to be tamed. Like these are just like, people that live out in the wild. They just live off the land, and it's just like too much of a mess to like try and rule them, because I think they have like a large swath of land that belongs to them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
So yeah, Judith and probably like a few other people from her like little family are there.
Okay, so is this like a seasonal thing? Like, is it a spring sort of? Are the farmers putting in fields? Like, what kind of dance?
I think it might be like a harvest thing, like a harvest festival.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would think House Oak has some lands like that. They don't spend much time there. They're city sort of councilors, knights. They let their people take care of it and deal more in the court. But yeah, I would see Callan being out there just because he's a younger member of the family.
Yeah, I could definitely see like you having like an uncle out here somewhere. Like this might be like a place you've gone in the summers and like visit family out here, and now it just happens to coincide with the festival. Yeah,
come out hunting maybe.
Yeah,
for, fill the larders for this winter. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so begin the dance.
Yeah, would anyone else like to be here before we start?
Prince Gorlin is there just to wave his dick around.
I won't be there.
Reagan
is busy.
What was that?
I'd like to be there. I'd like to think that enough time has passed for it to make sense. For because if Gorlane has enough time to get back here, then I probably would too, because we were just in the same place. So I feel like that makes sense.
So this is something legit. Maybe this like naval battle happened in like midsummer ish, and now we're getting into like September, October.
It's like nice and cool.
A while later, it's getting cool.
And I want to be at a dance with him again, because this is a situation where we probably can't draw swords on each other. So I want to build a connection after what happened earlier.
Okay, so let's see. So yeah, I think we see the dance opens on Judith Antir and her people coming into this town. I think they have like really large horses, like large like muscular horses. They ride in on and settle down on the edge of town, tie them up somewhere. They walk in. We see this like festival ground being like built up. See like market vendors, staying stalls, and we see. I think we open on I guess the first notes of music begin.
Yeah.
The dance itself starts.
So it looks like the Dark Moon Fair in WoW.
Like a good analogy.
Yeah, Callan would notice you coming in, but he would be more towards the back, probably standing with some older people, and in discussion, probably trying to find some of the more literate people around, and like a glass of wine in one hand, and like discussing politics and what's going on in court, or maybe the latest novel. He'd be dressed in probably some pretty fashionable clothes, kind of out of place here, out in the countryside. And doesn't look like he's done a lick of labor. Like even he doesn't look like someone who'd even go hunting. Like he's probably here out of noble affectation more than actually giving a shit about the harvest or anything. He's beyond, like he wants to be back with his books and back in the city, but notices you come in with these horses and the difference. Like he's just like, there's something that catches his attention because it's novel, right? It's something he's not seen before, and so that's what catches his eye. Is like, oh, okay, something different than this podunk town.
Okay.
And would yeah.
Do I have to?
Yeah.
Do the other players in the dance have to like talk about how they're there as well?
I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah. You should ask you. Yeah, you should be asking each other, how do you look to me? And that point, and then at any point, anyone else can ask for details of the setting. And I feel like that's a detail of a setting.
I think I want to know how is Gorlin's leg holding up?
Leg. Oh.
Can you still dance?
I am hiding it basically by being on the horse the entire time. It's a huge horse. It's a black horse.
Of course.
In ceremonial trimmings, deep. What's the word for like a really deep red?
Crimson.
Mahogany.
Yeah. Crimson trimmings. Maybe not mahogany, but crimson trimmings with gold tassels here and there, just to like show myself off.
Yeah, Gorlin bought the DLC for the horse.
And I'm in, because we come from across the sea and we have really weird alien traditions. So the way we wear clothes is we make very, very nice clothing and then wear it until it's tatters. Like until it just falls off, and then it like, because you just let the clothing go where it wants to go. And one day it'll just shred to nothing and then disappear. So it's just like a lot of tatters, like a really, really nice tunic on top of that. But you can see like the strings hanging down out of the shirt as well. Really warm, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of colors as well.
So, Judith, what kind of mood are you in? What's your mood when you're walking into this town?
I think you can. I'm just happy to be here. I think this is something that she's looked forward to for a while. I think this is like a thing they do, like going from town to town on the border and like visiting the harvest festivals and the like. This is like a tradition out here.
Okay.
Let me see if there's some sort of like music. Keep going.
Yeah, so I think
why not? Because like I'm not in the scene, so like why not? So just continue.
Yeah. I think it's time to like start dancing. So I think we see Judith and Callan together first. We somehow ended up together.
Yeah. No, he'd probably go and ask you. You're from away. He's feeling very guarded. There's been an assassination in his family, so he's actually kind of tense. And there's other noble families that he thinks may be behind it, but you're an outsider, so you seem safe to him. So he would go and dance with you. You're of a position that's okay for him to be seen dancing with, but he's also very guarded with the other people that are the other noble families that are here in town. for fear that he's the next one on their kill list.
Hmm.
So we start dancing.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna ask the first question. I think we see the two of us like dancing for a while, and we see Judith is getting really into it. You hear her like humming along to the music and everything. You can tell that I think she's like an all right dancer, especially like at this particular style.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So after a while, we hear like the fiddles stop and the dance comes to an end. And what I want to know is, do you stay with Judith, or do you rush away to someone else?
No, Calvin will go, well, that wasn't long enough. We need to dance more. You are, of
I
all
agree.
the ones that are here, the best company, I believe.
Oh, my lord, you're too kind. You're too kind.
So yeah, there'd be another dance starting up. Callan dances quite mechanically. He's been taught, so he knows the dance moves, but he has no instinct for it, whereas it sounds like you do. So he's sort of trying to lead, but not very good at it. He's been taught, like you can tell he knows the moves, but it isn't coming from his bones. Yeah, something about me catches your eye and your look lingers. What is it?
I think she can tell that you're nervous. Like she can tell that you're very worried about something. And like, at first she just chalks it up to like nervousness about the dance and like dancing with a pretty girl. But like after a while, you can tell that you're comfortable in your dancing. So like that's not it. Like you have your patterns.
Yeah.
So there's definitely like something else at work here.
Okay.
And I think it is to like pat you on the shoulder as part of like while we're dancing. So don't worry, you're a pretty face, my lord. Wrinkles don't suit you at all.
Nice.
Much too young for that.
Side question.
Yep.
Is Dash a prince or princess?
Princess.
Okay.
So yeah, and anyone can ask questions. We get two each. But
yeah, so now the dance would end, I guess, and then we can change partners. Is from what I gather.
Yeah, or we can see what they're doing, like in the meantime, or one of them can dance with one of us, and so on.
Yeah.
So
first, I want to dance with Gorlane to reestablish our connection, and then I'll dance with either of you on my second turn.
This is going to be weird because I'll be doing equestrian dancing.
Are you doing dressage?
Yes.
I'm doing dressage.
Nice.
That's so cool.
Of course, because you have to hide your
Of course. And also, basically, I'm there to show off my huge army. So, of course, I'm there to also show off the athleticism of my horses.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick a good question to ask for somebody on horseback. Okay, I'm going to choose that last one. This moment in the dance allows me to step close to you and linger very near. Am I welcome? So I'm at like your side, and my my shoulder with silken fabric touches your like your calf.
Oh, so you're on foot then?
I am on foot.
So are you on the back of the horse now? Like, are you behind him? Have you like? Is this part of the dance where you jump in behind him on the back?
Hello.
I was thinking. Oh yeah, maybe this is a part of the dance where I'm supposed to get on a horseback as well, and I'm trying to get really close to him to be like, "Hey, help me up."
Okay.
So, am I welcome to get back on horseback with you? Okay.
You are, and I grab you by the arm, and with one swift motion, I pull you up, and you land with one swift motion, and you, in a parabolic arc, just sail through the air and land on the back of on the horse's butt, basically.
I love it. Yeah. Okay. That's my
It's
turn.
a dance.
It's really good.
Okay. We have to ask 2 questions, right?
Yep. So that was my first question.
So my first question is, something about me catches your eye and your look lingers. What is it? Probably could be something before the dance starts or something. Something maybe that prompts you to start the dance or whatever.
I was thinking that because of how you have to turn to throw me onto your horseback, I get to see your eye color, and I'm very fascinated by it. So that's
what color do you see it as?
I think I see like an emerald green.
I'll run with that. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I smile, but my smile turns into like a deep seriousness.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's definitely like a moment where we see this from a distance, and suddenly like everyone's looking at like this like acrobatic stunt that just happened, like pull you on the back horse, and it's like a few people clapping, even like cheering. Like,
Yeah,
well done, well done.
That's really good context. Okay, who goes next?
I don't know, there's no festival music. You would think that in Roll20 you would be able to search
Yeah.
festival,
Yeah.
but there's literally none. I don't understand.
Wow.
Yeah. Roll20 calling you out.
Straight up. And if they are, they're not called festival, which is crazy.
Medieval dance music, maybe.
Yeah. Now that's what I call medieval dance for.
MDM.
Nope. Plenty of elven glades, though. If this was an elven glade, we'd be set.
Welcome to Ye Old House Mafia.
So do we get 2 questions per dance partner, or just 2 questions in this?
Then we get 2 questions per person. Like,
Yeah, per
so
dance.
I get 2 questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not. Otherwise, we'd just be doing the dance.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think at this point,
How's there no dance music? It's insane. This is insane. Ow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think at this point, we see like Judith is dancing with Callum, and while it's like all right, she's just seen Dash pull off this like, acrobatic trick, and says like, just stay here for a moment, and she like. So you see like stride over in your direction. It probably like looks rather equestrian, especially to the city folk. But she just like reaches up and like pulls you off the horse, Dash, and says, "You're going to dance with me next."
And I'm graceful, so obviously I don't fall flat on my face or anything.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah, and she's good-hearted, so she wouldn't like hurt you on purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
and then I like. Good God.
Okay, Jesus. What the heck, Roll20? All right, that's why I don't do this shit. That's why I don't do music. Like, it doesn't make any sense. That's called okay. I picked. There was one track that was called Gnome Celebration, and instead it's just screaming. So I'm sorry.
Screaming and the falling of money.
I have no idea. Okay, yeah, done with that. All right, fine. Okay.
Yeah, so we see this very graceful tumbling off the horse. And as the Someone drops a symbol in the background, apparently.
Yeah.
The music picks up again.
And then I say, "Ha, let's dance," and then I press myself into you, and we do, and I take both of your hands and we dance.
Yeah. So I think you. Let's see.
Goraline actually. Sorry. Goraline takes a look at Judith and shoots her a bit of a tiny look of displeasure, but it is quickly masked with a smile.
Yeah, so I think Judith is just going to pull you close and start dancing. I think the music becomes a bit more. I don't want to say like somber, but slow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you may at this moment in the dance place your hand upon my elbow, my shoulder, my waist, or my hip. Which do you choose? As we get into like formation.
So, as one of the songs changes, or as it goes into a different movement, I hear one of my songs from where I grew up, and I start to do that dance. So I grab your elbow and hold it I hold your hand like this, and with my other hand I hold your elbow like this because I'm about to do some weird dance you've never seen before.
Okay.
And then I see you not reciprocate what you're supposed to do in this dance, and I get confused.
Yeah.
So I place my hand upon your elbow because I'm about to do something weird.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like a perplexed look on Judith's face. This is, these. You're quite an interesting people. I think she grabs the hand on her elbow and just moves it down to your side. And just do something a bit more traditional.
Yeah.
No, this is how we do it here. Let me show you.
Cool.
Yeah. Who wants to go next?
At this point, Goraline can only dance with Callan, and Callan can only dance with Goraline. So,
I mean, you can wait until we're done, and then dance with one of us. You can just pick up sometime later.
I mean, you can actually dance with whoever you want. We're just dancing with different people to just because out of personal taste. You could dance with me again if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I was about to suggest when getting used to the names here. When Judith pulls Dash off my horse, I shoot Judith that look, and then turn my attention to Callan and say, Horrible Lord Oak, let's mount up, shall we?
You're gonna have a fucking joust in the middle of this dance?
No. Dual dressage.
You're muted.
You're muted, dude.
You're muted.
You're
very
muted.
Oh, sorry.
The whole time you've been muted, my friend.
Yeah, Callan would go find a horse, probably from one of the people in this village. It's his village, so he just grabs one of the people that's already in the horse and throws him away.
Just any horse or the best horse?
No, any horse. He doesn't care.
Okay.
He's rooting. He probably can't tell what the best horse is. He's educated not in that way. Yeah. No, he wouldn't. And so, but that's just it. So he goes, does this move, and then in this moment in the dance, he's not sure what to do because this is not the kind of dance he's trained for. And so as he's going up, he notices Goraline looking at him. And, where's that quest? And at this moment in this dance, you laugh, Goraline. What do you laugh at? At what?
I'm laughing at how you managed to pick a horse whose main matches. How in the middle of the entire rush for you to pick a horse, you pick a horse whose mane matches the color of your clothes.
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, gotta stay
Nice.
on brand.
Very nice. I meant to do that.
Cool. Is that all the questions?
I haven't asked one yet.
Okay.
I've participated a lot in Umbra's question.
Yeah.
I guess I can ask mine next. When the dance ends, will you stand with me or rush away?
I think she's you just is like a bit perplexed. Like she is. I think she's like put a lot of effort into like trying to teach you what dancing here is like, because you apparently don't know. It's I need a break. I need to like go do something else for a moment. You have fun.
Yeah. Okay. I'd say she's picking up. She dances very well, but she doesn't pick up the moves quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have the grace, just not the skill.
I have the technique, not the. I don't remember the forms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just gives you a polite courtesy and like steps away.
And then I say, "All dragonflies. Maybe next time."
Mm-hmm.
That's a little.
Maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think we have one question left from
That would be
Gordon.
Yep.
yes. So at this point, the dance between like the entire dance is like wrapping up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it would be at this moment in the dance that I see Callan laugh. Why? Actually, yeah, what? Not why.
Oh. Yeah, Callan would probably be. Oh my God, what would he be laughing at the end of the dance?
You guys did your dressage, right?
Yeah.
Like, because you had to, because this is still part of the dance. We can't not see that dressage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think it'd be a nervous laughter. Callan would be actually kind of nervous because he's just put himself on show doing something he's not good at and does not like it. So it's a very self-conscious laugh, and he's laughing kind of at it himself, or trying to like, you know, that nervous laugh you're doing when you're trying to like sort of pretend that you're laughing along with everybody else, but you're actually kind of just nervous. Yeah. That's what he's doing. He's sort of laughing at his own sort of ineptitude in this moment and trying to act confident. Noticing Gorlane seeing him, he's just trying to like, haha, I meant to be a buffoonish fool, but it's transparent.
Well, you know what they say, Lord Oak. Practice.
Yes, Gorlane.
You've got many years ahead of you. You have the time.
I may, but death seems to be stalking my family.
Oh yes, about that that affair. Ooh, it worries me too as well.
I just can't get over. I'm sorry, Borian. Your hair's blowing ever so gently, and I just cannot help but imagine your character on the horse doing this as well, with their hair blowing. I'm sorry, it just is cracking me the heck up.
I meant to do that.
Yeah. Personally, I'm just in love with, like, you know what they say, get good.
Yeah.
He is there to show off his dick anyway.
Oh yeah. Indeed they do.
And I think at that point the dance ends.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the end of the game. So who wants to go next? Who has some
I would like
unresolved tension?
I would like to go because I hadn't had a chance.
Yeah.
So, Bragan is entering the scene of their show. Bragan is going to accuse House Sandorial of acts unbecoming of a noble house. And so we're going to trial.
Ooh.
And I'm going to try Gorlane Sandorial for crimes against the crown. I'm trying you for hiring an assassin. House Dillstone, instead of going to a party, has been trying to put the pieces together and interviewing and talking to people and paying money to people, have found that it was very likely an assassin hired to kill House Oak's general.
Is this trials by contest?
Yeah, this is trials by contest.
Okay.
And so, what does this look like? You get a courier message saying that you need to go to the capital. Right? This is held in the capital. Right? This is held at the throne, and Dillstone is the royal house, so technically they still have the throne, right? And so you were
Although
summoned.
it's empty.
Yeah. Well, no, my regent,
wow.
my queen technically sits on it, but it's tenuous at best.
Mm-hmm.
So we are conducting the trials here.
Infant.
So we're in the hall. We're in the hall in front of the Bantry throne, and I'm challenging you to prove how. So I am challenging you, and my stake in here and the dispute is that you, and by extension your house, is guilty of the horrible, heinous crime of hiring an assassin, denying the House Oak a right to a fair trial of any misgivings, of any sort of defense. And so I'm calling you out on this. How do you look to me? What's your mood?
I stand to the right of the pedestal on top of which the throne sits. I mean, are you in front of? Are you standing?
You're in front. You're standing in front of the throne. You are like given, like basically, I can kind of imagine here, like a courtroom, like where you have like two podiums, like one is like either side of this, what's going on right here, for the trial. Or maybe it's actually probably one. It's one little podium wheeled in here, and like you're forced to stand up in front of it as sort of like your defense, right?
So I'm facing the throne, basically.
Yeah, you're facing the throne, and it would make sense that I would be like around the King's Guard area of the people, because I'm kind of like serving here. Okay.
Okay. Wait, which trial is by? Oh, the numbered trials just come afterwards, right?
We take turns going back and forth until the game ends. On your turn, you must choose one. You must admit that the challenger has proved their position, and this game ends, or you must choose a trial and submit yourself to it, and then after you've done that, the other person must go.
Right. Okay. So
and since I started the contest, I have to go first. And
so this is just cross-examination, I guess.
Yeah. So, well, no. How firmly do you believe in your innocence?
How firmly do I believe in my innocence? I am in front of the throne. My hands are crossed over my walking stick. I have a cane. Right? So a nice, walking stick, kind of like what was that character? Draco Malfoy's dad in the movies, in the Harry Potter movies. There's a walking stick. The walking stick is in front of me. My hands are on the handle of the walking stick. And I am just there with kind of like a professional, respectful demeanor. But I know that your house submits to mine. But I'm choosing not to lord that over you.
Okay, so I do trial by oath. I declare an oath in front of the gods and our queen regent. I will swear to prove that House Sandorial is in fact guilty of hiring an assassin and killing the general. We have the General Margrave of House Oak. Your turn.
Then, before the witness of the crown and the court, state your evidence.
I don't have to. I say, the evidence is the faith in the Lord and the rule of law.
Evidence of faith in the law and the rule, in the Lord and the rule of law. Do you not know how the law works?
Oh, I do, and you are stalling for time.
How am I stalling
Choose
for
your
time?
trial. Accused.
Do I have to?
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to choose. You must either admit that I am right and that you did hire an assassin, or you must choose a trial and submit yourself to it.
I am going to.
I already
choose
chose.
the trial.
I already did oath. You must escalate. So that's no longer there. You have to pick something higher than oath.
Oh, the numbers. Okay, they indicate. Okay. By ransom. Trial by ransom.
Okay.
Sorry, my
No
mom
problem.
calling me. Sorry.
Yeah. So you declare that your house will ransom your position.
Yes.
Cool. Throw 2 coins, which means roll 1d2s. 1 is heads, 2 is tails. On at least 1 head, your house ransoms you, and your house loses 1 muster, but it's your challenger's turn. But if you get no heads, aka a 25% chance, your house doesn't ransom you, and you must accede.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Double heads. That's good. So your house comes to your aid. It loses 1 muster, which drops you down and bumps me up. But it's your challenger's turn.
Yes. I need to go back to the handout.
Very well. We see that your house has come to your aid, meaning less of your innocence than that your entire house is sick from the roots to the branches. I will prove this to you. As I gesture over to one of the king's guards to give me a sword. And we're doing trial by combat next turn, my friend. And I say, and I swear, as Sir Bragan Dillstone, in front of the gods and in front of the Queen Regent, I swear on my life that House Sandorial has committed crimes against the nobility of this realm, and Sir Gorlane Sandorial will die in trial by combat. And that's like the gasps and stuff, because this is to the death.
I draw my sword and pointed at.
You don't have a sword.
Oh,
you have a cane.
Then I lift my walking cane,
Yeah.
pointed squarely in between, at the bridge of the nose, at the bridge of Bragan's nose, and say, by this life or next, you will prove yourself to be a liar or a fool.
Nice.
Dang!
Cool.
And he
Yeah.
walks out.
Yeah, that's a scene. Yep. So then we have a couple days or whatever to prepare for our trial by combat. Yep, that's our scene.
Sweet.
So it's about 7:20. It's probably a time we should take our first break, right?
Okay.
Before we get too further. All right, guys. So we'll take a quick little 6-minute break, and we'll be back on the other side. So see you then.
Yeah.